If not, we thank you so much. Council meeting. Again, always a pleasure, Vice Mayor, members of the council, town staff, and for those of you that are staying for the meeting, thank you. We appreciate it. We value your feedback. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Would you call the roll, please, Russell?
Councilmember Doug McKay.
Here.
Councilmember Freddie Fisickelli.
Here.
Councilmember Steve Brightcrus.
Here.
Vice Mayor Gary Jablonski.
Here.
Mayor Nelson.
Here. We all stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just those two that I gave you.
Okay. Item number 3, public comment.
Mayor, we have two speakers tonight, Vince Valletta and John Eastman, in that order.
Thank you, Keith.
Vince, you're up.
You didn't hear yet.
Hey, Vince,
Vince?
you're up. Public comment.
Down.
Public comment. I don't appreciate Sunshine Ranch's historical material being called junk. It is an aggregation of 47 years of material that helped establish this town. And I'm trying to say to this council that I think we should be proud of our history rather than it being in a closet. And I don't think having one authority to be able to tell this town what it should be doing with its historical material. And like the lady said, she's a 501c, and a 501c this town has no authority over. But you're contributing, according to the resolution, you're contributing, or supposed to be, contributing $1,000 a year, plus 8 hours a month of staff and office equipment. I'm not going to go into the detail of the resolution, but the resolution was passed in 2011. All 5 of you voted in the positive for it, and yet nothing is going forward. And this is my argument, that it is the town's responsibility, not any particular person or any particular entity. And I'm still going to be holding the town responsible for all the historical material that Sunshine Ranches has brought forward and you have accepted. And I thank you, and it's not junk.
Thank you, Vince. John?
Hi, Mayor, Council. A couple weeks ago, I got an email from Mr. Lasky, and it concerned a property on 185th Way at Sheridan Street, a nursery. And the nursery is operating a landfill, and they're accepting detritus material and cuttings from all over the county. They're bringing it on site and then mulching it and grinding it in a very large, one of those 18-wheel type grinders. It's condensed and then it's sent elsewhere for burning. It's a cash business. We have people coming in from all over. Code is investigating it right now. They'll probably have a report on it sometime soon, or at least it'll go to the special master. But I'm thinking we might need to be looking at some sort of an ordinance preventing people from bringing this sort of thing into the town. So if we see outside landscapers towing their trailers in loaded up and they're dumping it on somebody's property, either for money or whatever the reason is, maybe we need to stop that because it creates too much traffic in the town. And even if it's legitimate purposes, you know, we need to cut it back. We have way too many outsiders coming in using these properties. And anyway, you might want to look into that. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Final speaker is Barry Nunzik. Ms. Schroeder and Ms. Chapel's public comment cards were rejected for inappropriate language.
Barry Nunzig, 16300 Sterling Road. Okay, budget time. You guys are responsible for the budget. You're responsible to keep our money safe. It's easy to spend other people's money. Okay, I've done a lot of work on the fire department and what we need for this city. I've given you guys all the information. You know what it is. Okay, either we need the volunteers or we don't. If we need the volunteers, then we need to sue the town of Davie for fraud because they say they can do it without the volunteers and provide the proper service. So either we are spending $2.5 million a year with Davie and getting the proper service from them, or else they're committing fraud of some sort. You guys need to think about it when you look at this, okay? You need to take an action. You need to stand up and say, if we're not getting the proper service from Davie, we have to do something about it. It's as simple as that. We're paying $2.5 million. They say they can provide proper service. Make a decision. Either we need to sue them or we're getting proper service and we don't need the volunteers.
Thank you. That's it, Mayor.
Okay, that concludes public comment. The next item is item number 4, board reports. Any members of any committees?
I have a couple of slides I want to show you.
Okay, let somebody else go.
Huh?
Can you let another board go first while he gets them ready?
Sure.
Thank you.
That's twice, 3 times. I just whip out the gun
I'm going to
and
let you come back. I didn't tell you to go home.
Jeff? Good, thank you. How are you?
I didn't think you'd have it up that quick.
It's not going to be long. Jeff Kastner, 17400 Southwoods. Pardon? Better? No?
Yep.
Now it is, okay. I'll hold it. Jeff Kastner, 17400 Southwest 51st Street. I am chairman of the Fire Advisory Board. What I thought about doing, you're aware, I think you're all aware because you've seen a copy of the recommendation, but at a Fire Advisory Board meeting on September 3rd, 2014, the board approved a written recommendation that at that point was forwarded immediately to Peter, who in turn forwarded copies to each of the council members, to Andy, the town administrator, and I think a copy landed up going to Keith and to finance. I have a copy of that report here, and at first I start out going, I'd like to enter it for the record. But instead, after talking to Andy, instead of reading this, which you've all already had the privilege to read, I've got copies of it here. So I'd like to submit one as part of the record of this meeting and the official recommendation from the Fire Advisory Board. And there are 10 copies here if anyone in the public would like to see what the recommendation was, and if we need more copies, I'm certain we can get them. But that would just avoid having to sit there and read the thing in. And
That's fine, Jeff. We'll make sure that that happens. I have. I'm sure that the rest of the council has seen the recommendation of the fire board.
okay, should I submit one to the
That's fine. No, that's
clerk and leave right now 10
That's
here,
fine.
or if anybody wants them.
Any other members? I know that, Gay, this is impressive if you put this together, I'll tell you that. Is there any other board members that, Barry, you just spoke. It's not, no, I know, it's not debate back and forth. This isn't time to do that. Listen, we're going to have a workshop coming up, and we're going to talk about it. No, I know, it's over with. We go back and forth all night, and I'm not going to permit it. Any other board members? Gay, come on back up.
Okay. I went over there. I've been kind of watching this, and I took some pictures, and Emily was kind enough to, I'm not real handy. I can do something, and I need a lot of people to get the job done. Anyway, this is the Rolling Oaks barn, and I'm over there pushing George because I have money on this thing, and December's going to lose the bet. So if can you roll it? and I'll explain it. Okay, this is the east end, and you can see the air conditioner on the left. They just put that in today. And the windows aren't going to be blue. They're covered up so that when they're plastering and painting, they'll stay clean. That's the front of and that's the double doors. But you can see how they framed it in and made doors out of it with the windows. Okay. And that's a shot, and you can see them working on putting the crosses in. They're metal, and then he plasters over it so that it stands out. It's three-dimensional. Looks really good. But I want you to notice something. We had an unfinished building, and I think it bugged George more than it bugged me. It bugged me, but it bugged him more. There was nails, different colored boards in there, and of course the beams were kind of yucky, and he wasn't supposed to do anything with it. Well, you can see he drywalled it all and plastered it. And go ahead and move it. And go again. You're going the wrong way. That's the inside. And they crack up because that's the insulation. I call it stuffing. And the lights are really good. It's amazing. I didn't have anything on my camera when I took it. I just took the shot. He's been working on all the boards. He's staining them and varnishing them and treating them, and then they're going to go up. So he's about 2/3 of the way through with the staining of the boards. The floor is covered. It's already polished. And go ahead. Same thing. It's just from a different angle. That's the stabilized parking area, and they're going to go ahead and sod it. So they put some dirt over it, and they rolled it and so on, and now they're going to sod it. Okay. Coming soon? Oh, she didn't do all my pictures. I must have had 40 pictures. Anyway, if you want, take a ride out there and look at it. It's going to be gorgeous. It really is going to be gorgeous. Thank you.
Thank you, Gay. Okay, that concludes item number 4, board reports. Item number 5, council member comments.
I'm going to make it short. Don't be long-winded, because I'm leaving early if you do. I'm going on I came back from a fishing trip vacation for a week just for this meeting, so I'm leaving tonight after the meeting to go back to the Keys.
Nothing to report.
I'm good. A lot of pressure, Steve, a lot of pressure.
I tell you what, all right, I'll make it quick. I gotta say something. I did want to, just real briefly, I know there's been a lot of conversation about those chokers that are going in on 185th, 186th, 188th. And this is the traffic calming devices that create a kind of indentation there by the speed bumps that are already in there. The only thing I would ask the public to do is to let's be a little patient. Let's let them go in there. Let's let it work for a while. I want to reassure everybody that the engineers have gone over this. It is according to code. It is according to specifications. They were put in properly. I know Cleet is watching it very carefully. They actually striped it incorrectly initially, and he caught it and is correcting them on that. And it does create the illusion that there's not enough space there, and that's kind of why we put them in. That's, it slows the traffic down. So, certainly if there does turn out to be other issues one way or another, we'll definitely take a look at it. But I did want to just briefly bring that up to say that it is going according to as we planned it.
Very good. No way am I making any comment. No, I don't have any comments anyway. Okay, that concludes item number 5. Item number 6, legal comments.
Had Charlie Dodge deposition today in the CCA Pines case. I was just a witness. It was fun. Other than that, Bob Norman probably tells you more than I do, so just listen to him.
Thank you, Keith. Always entertaining. Item number 7, administration comments.
Yeah,
Andy?
thank you, Mayor. I'll also be brief. Just a reminder that the Rural Public Art Board and the Parks Board were weighing in on some recommendations on how we might properly honor Gary Polyakov. Once I have that information consolidated from the staff liaisons, we're going to put that together and kind of bring council a list so that you'll have to look through at your next meeting, and then council can give us some direction as far as what you'd like to do and what you prefer or not. And that's really all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. I wish Marty, I know Marty's here someplace, but just recognize the outstanding, I should have said this real quickly, the outstanding job he did for this budget, recognizing, where all our money comes from and where it goes. I mean, it's just unprecedented with regards to the time and effort and information that he produces. So wherever Marty is, on behalf of this council, thank you. You did a heck of a job. Okay, that concludes item number 7. Item number 8, Russell.
A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, approving the 6th modification to the agreement with CSI Code Services, Inc., adding additional zoning services and extending the agreement through September 30th, 2017, authorizing the mayor, town administrator, and town attorney to enter into the agreement and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Russell. Andy?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Items 8, 9, and 10 are all very closely intertwined. This is the documentation that we pledged to bring you following the last meeting. As you know, staff made a recommendation to council, and council was very receptive to the idea to switch the development review permitting process from the Melgren Planning Group to Code Services, Inc. Robert has, I'll say, a competitive advantage because he's located here in Town Hall. It does make him more accessible to our residents, and because his operating costs for his business are less, he's able to pass that savings through to our residents. So what we're looking at is on item 10 would be a 40% reduction plus on our fee schedule. Item 9, 8, and 9 are actually extensions of our current contracts and modifications with CSI Code Services, Inc. to add that service, and then extending Michelle Melgren, who's been an outstanding partner for the town as well. So we've got 2 wonderful business partners. We're extending them both. We're just taking advantage of an opportunity to pass some savings along to our residents.
Andy, thank you. Council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to second to approve. Any members of the public wish to comment on this item? Seeing no public comment is now closed. Again, we have a motion and a second to approve. Freddie?
Reason I just want to make a statement here, and I've talked to Andy about it very briefly. I mean, not very briefly, and I had a little problem with this. I don't know how y'all feel, but all of a sudden they hit. I mean, Andy had been talking to us about what he's going to do, but then when we get it, there's not enough backup as far as I was concerned. In other words, where did they come up with the figures? I'm a crazy person. I'm a figure man anyway. So I took that 459, I broke it down using 50,000 as a person doing the thing, and I come out with, it takes 16 hours to do that, to do a thing. I don't know if that's right, but I wish if you brought something to me, you could tell me, I know how many hours it takes to do what it does, but I've had problems with this, to tell you the truth, because I happen to do a lot of pulling of permits, mainly for my church. And when I do this particular thing, there really isn't a lot there in that department that they have to do before it goes to the building department. So I'm very happy that we're able to help our people and cut it down some. But Andy's assured me he's going to look at it and see that we may be able to bring it down. If you look at what he gave us before, we're nowhere in the neighborhood. Everybody else is way down here. And Andy's researched it, and he's told me the same thing I heard when John Canada told me about it originally when we took it over, was they're using general funds to overcome some of the costs and stuff. And that may be true, but, I could tell you, for example, we have different things in our church. And one of them, we sell Christmas trees for a fundraiser. And I know a lot of things change, but I can remember years and years ago when I pulled the first one with Michelle. She was downtown right next to the city hall at that time. It cost me $37. Today, if I pulled it, it cost me $370 for the same thing. And all she does, she gives me a little letter saying it's okay to go. I know there's a lot behind that that has to be done, but what I'm saying is I think whatever we can do to help our people out there to cut those costs down, and I'm happy that we've taken this step and moving in the right direction, and I'm going to have Andy make sure that he lets me know how much it does.
Thank you, Freddie. Any other additional questions, comments, or concerns, council? Again, we have a motion and a second to approve. Call a question, please, Russell.
Councilmember McKay?
Yes.
Are we going all three of them at one time?
No, I'm just doing one at a time.
Okay, yes.
Resolution time.
Councilmember Fisickelli? Is that a yes?
I said yes.
Yes, okay. Councilmember Bright Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, item number 9.
A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, approving a new agreement with the Melbourne Planning Group, Inc., to clarify the services that it provides to the town, authorizing the mayor, town administrator, and town attorney to enter into the agreement and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Russell. Any additional comments, Andy?
Yeah, Mayor, if I may, there is one change, a substantial change to Michelle's contract. The cost of her time and staff's time to the town remains unchanged. We have allowed, in order to match the competitive rate she's charging elsewhere, a slight increase in the public hearing items. That would be paid by developers or people like that who have items that they're bringing forward. But the cost to the town will remain the same as it has for a number of years.
Thank you, Andy.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any members of the public wish to comment on this item? Seeing no public comment is now closed. Council, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any additional questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, Russell, call a question, please.
Councilmember McKay?
Yes.
Councilmember Fisickelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Bright Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, item number 10.
A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, amending Resolution Number 2008-018 to establish a revised comprehensive fee schedule for development and permit review fees and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Russell. Andy?
Yeah, Mayor, this establishes the fee schedule I referenced earlier, which reduces most of our development review permitting by a minimum of about 40%, some substantially more. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any members of the public wish to comment on this item? John?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we reviewed these fees at the Drainage and Infrastructure Board, and I'm just wondering, maybe we need to look at them and then get back to you on that. You want to pass them to us and let us look at them first, or?
Well, the other thing, though, too, John, if you take a look at it, I don't know if you've seen the fee schedule in a new one, you'll see a minimum of a 40% reduction in what the fees were previously, some as high as 93%. So there's a significant reduction in the fees that were being charged to our residents previously.
There was a nexus in there anticipating that the prison was going to get built, and, you know, there were some adjustments made, so I'm not sure if those are going back to where they were or whatever, but I mean, the board's available to look at them if you want us to. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Any other public comment on this item? See no further public comment. Public comment is now closed. Council, we have a motion and a second to approve. Steve?
Yeah, just a quick comment. I do think that was, Freddie's comment was interesting. I think that we may want to look at, I know, Andy, you're going to take a look at all these, but I think those types of permits specifically for a charitable organization, they're really just picking up a piece of paper. That may be, break it out to a separate category to assist. You know, I'm not saying, you know, not paying their way. I have a hard time picturing if you're selling Christmas trees, how that could possibly be $300 worth of work in the background for that. So
Steve, I'd say I'm on board with you, but let's just kind of get our feet wet, but
Yeah.
definitely look at that again.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not proposing a number. I definitely want it to pay its own way, but I just throw that out there as something to look at.
Very good. Council, any additional questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, we have a motion, a second to approve. Russell, call the question, please.
Councilmember McKay?
Yes.
Councilmember Fisickelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Brighters?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, item number 11.
A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, approving the State of Florida Department of Emergency Management's reimbursement determination for Hurricane Wilma for an amount not to exceed $45,996.67, authorizing the mayor, town administrator, and town attorney to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the intent of this resolution and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Russell. Andy?
Yes, Mayor, as you know, we were working very hard to resolve an outstanding claim that the town had from 2005 and Hurricane Wilma. FEMA had originally wanted from the town in excess of $750,000 that they had claimed we had been overpaid. We worked very closely with our consultants. We got that total down to $45,996. And we were, as of the memo I had given you at our last meeting, were contesting one more work order, trying to save a further $8,000. Unfortunately, FEMA has turned us down on that. Our consultant did an outstanding job with what they did. The methodology that they used was put into place in 2008. FEMA, in their infinite wisdom, said it was a 2005 loss, and they applied the methodology that was used back in 2005. So for that reason, they have declined our request. And so what we're asking you for tonight is authorization to pay $45,996.67 to resolve this outstanding claim. The money is available within our solid waste fund, and this is something that's lingered on our books for a whole lot of years that we can finally clear off and move past. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Andy. Council?
Motion to
I make a motion to approve, but also want to make sure we get the final sign-off that we don't owe them anything else and it's all said and done. So Keith, make sure you're in the mix on that, please.
Second.
We got, Steve seconded
I'm
Doug's motion. Any members of the public wish to comment on this item? Seeing no public comment is now closed. Gary?
Yeah, just one little footnote I'd like to make on this. On my first week on the council, this was the first item I was handed.
Took your breath away.
It was $752,000. I asked Charlie Lynn if he'd take a check. Just thought I'd mention that. It was a pretty interesting week.
Took your breath away, going from 750 to almost 46,000. Great job. I know it took years. The consultants did a heck of a job, but well done, Andy and your staff and the consultant. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Seeing no additional questions, comments, or concerns, Russell, call the question, please.
Councilmember McKay?
Yes.
Councilmember Fisickelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Brighters?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, item number 12.
A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, accepting the Selection and Negotiation Committee's recommendation and awarding a continuing contract to Winningham and Fradley, Inc., Craven and Thompson and Associates, Inc., and Keith and Associates, Inc. for professional surveying services, authorizing the mayor, town administrator, and town attorney to enter into an agreement and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Russell. Andy?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. These are continuing service contracts. We went out to bid. We requested proposals back from surveyors. These cost us nothing until we use them, recognizing the sheer number of projects that we have on the horizon between drainage projects and TISDOR, in addition to our normal run-of-the-mill. We wanted to make sure that we had surveyors available and that we could get them out in the field as quickly as we possibly could. So rather than for each project have to go out and collect bids to have that survey work done, what we did was we went out to bid, we've pre-approved these three firms, we've established the pricing for them, and so we've got them, I'll say, at our beck and call when we're ready and we need them.
Very good, Andy. Thank you very much.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. Any members of the public wish to comment on this item? See no public comment. Public comment is now closed. Again, we got a motion and a second to approve. Council, any additional questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, Russell, call the question, please.
Councilmember McKay?
Yes.
Councilmember Fisickelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Brighters?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, item number 13 has been pulled and will be on the September 30th agenda. Item number 14.
A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, accepting and approving an agreement with the State of Florida Department of Environmental Protection to receive $450,446 to complete the town's comprehensive interconnect drainage improvement project, authorizing the mayor, town administrator, and town attorney to enter into an agreement and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Russell. Andy?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. As you all know, we were very, very successful working with our lobbyists up in Tallahassee this year. We were able to bring in a tremendous amount of money that we can use for our drainage projects. This item number 14, and the next item, number 15, is just entering into the agreements that we need to with the state so that we can receive that money and work on the projects. The projects themselves are very clearly outlined within the staff memo that's contained in your agenda book. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Andy.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any members of the public wish to comment on this item? Great stuff. It's a lot of things getting ready to happen. Thanks to the state of Florida and the wonderful people up there, convincing them how important our projects are. Seeing no public comment is now closed. Again, we got a motion and second to approve. Any additional questions, comments, or concerns, council? Seeing none, call the question, Russell.
Councilmember McKay?
Yes.
Councilmember Fisickelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Bright Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, item number 15.
A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, accepting and approving an agreement with the State of Florida Department of Environmental Protection to receive $75,000 to complete the drainage improvements along Southwest 54th Place, authorizing the mayor, town administrator, and town attorney to enter into an agreement and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Russell. Andy?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Like the last item, this just allows us to enter into the agreement with the state so that we can receive the funding and begin work on those projects.
Thank you, Andy. Council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any members of the public wish to comment on this item? Seeing no public comment is now closed. Council, we have a motion and second to approve. Any additional questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, call the question, please, Russell.
Councilmember McKay?
Yes.
Councilmember Fisickelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Bright Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes. Approval of minutes for the August 14, 2014 regular meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. I know you guys read them. If there's anything in there, open it up to you all for any corrections because we've had it done before. See no public comment on this item. It's now closed. Again, we have a motion and a second to approve. Call the question, please, Russell.
Councilmember McKay?
Yes.
Councilmember Fisickelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Bright Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, I'll take a motion. This completes our agenda for the regular
Motion to
meeting.
adjourn.
I'm sure it's unanimous. This meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you all very much.